Have you ever wondered why you can't look away? Not from your phone, not from the thoughts that keep you awake at night, not from that feeling deep in your gut that something is missing, though you can't name what. Now imagine standing in front of a small wooden panel painting. A woman, seated, looks back at you. Her smile is so slight, it almost vanishes. Her eyes don't just meet yours, they follow you, they see you, and suddenly you feel exposed. This is the Mona Lisa, the most famous painting in the world, but why? Why this face? Why this smile? Out of millions of works of art, how did a portrait, painted 500 years ago, become an icon recognized by nearly every living human being on Earth? The answer isn't what you think. The Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci around 1503. A simple commission. A wealthy Florentine silk merchant wanted a portrait of his wife, Lisa Gherardini. That's it. No grand mythological gods, no violent battle scene, no miracle, just Lisa. And yet, Leonardo couldn't stop. He tinkered with it for years, layer upon layer of translucent paint. He carried it with him from Florence to Milan and finally to France, where he died in 1519, still unwilling to part with it. Why? Some say he never delivered it because he wasn't finished, but others whisper something stranger, that Leonardo was obsessed, that Lisa became less a woman and more a mirror, a vessel for something he was chasing, a kind of perfection, a truth that was always just beyond reach. Maybe you felt that too, that gnawing need to refine and refine, to keep working, to never let go, because if you do, you'll have to admit it's imperfect. You're imperfect. For centuries, the Mona Lisa hung quietly in French palaces. Admired, yes, but not worshipped. It wasn't until 1911, when she disappeared, that her legend exploded. Imagine it, a Monday morning in Paris, the Louvre is closed. A small man in a white smock emerges from a closet, lifts the painting off its pegs and simply walks out. The guards nod politely as he carries the most valuable painting in history under his coat. By the next day, it's gone. The newspapers scream, "The Mona Lisa is stolen." Suddenly, everyone cares. Crowds flood the Louvre just to stare at the empty wall where she once hung. Picasso himself is questioned by police. For 2 years, the world is haunted by her absence. And then, miraculously, she reappears. Discovered in the false bottom of a trunk in Florence, hidden by Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman who claimed he was returning her to her homeland. But the truth is this: the theft turned her into a celebrity, because people don't realize what they love until it's taken away. And maybe that's why you can't stop scrolling, why you don't appreciate your quiet, ordinary life until someone is missing, why loss burns so deeply it reveals what mattered all along. But the Mona Lisa isn't famous only because of her story. It's her face. Look at that smile, half a smile. A whisper of happiness, but when you stare directly, it fades. When you look away, it returns. It shifts with you like a secret that won't be pinned down. Leonardo achieved this with sfumato, a technique of layering glazes so fine they blur the edges of shadow and light. The result is alive, breathing, human. Her expression is never one thing, it is all things. And that's what unnerves you, because her smile is your smile. It is the face you wear when you hide your sadness at work, when you pretend to be fine at the family dinner table, when you tell your friends, "I'm okay," while drowning inside. The Mona Lisa is not just a woman, it's a mask you know all too well. Freud thought it was Leonardo's mother smiling through the centuries. Others think it's Leonardo himself painting his own features into Lisa's. But maybe the real truth is more uncomfortable. She is everyone. She is the stranger on the train, the cashier at the grocery store, the mirror reflection you glance at and then quickly look away from. She is humanity itself, smiling, but not entirely. And then there's her eyes. We say they follow us, but in truth, they don't look straight ahead. They're angled slightly to the right. Yet somehow, you feel seen. It's unsettling, because in life, you're rarely truly seen. Most people glance past you. Most never catch the flicker of doubt behind your laugh or the weariness behind your smile, but Mona Lisa does. And in that instant, standing before her, you realize how rarely you allow yourself to be known. Her background only deepens the mystery. Winding rivers, jagged mountains, a bridge to nowhere. The left and right sides don't even match. The horizons sit at different levels, as if the world itself is unstable. And yet she sits calmly before it all, hands folded, serene. This is perhaps Leonardo's cruelest gift. He painted a woman who appears completely at ease, while everything behind her is chaos. Isn't that what we try to do every day? Sit calmly while our world crumbles, smile faintly while the storm rages behind us. The Mona Lisa is not beautiful because she is perfect. She is beautiful because she is complicated, contradictory, alive. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The Mona Lisa is not as you imagine. In person, she's shockingly small, just 30 by 20 inches, framed and locked behind bulletproof glass, watched by guards, besieged by a swarm of tourists holding up their phones. You fight through the crowd, and finally, there she is. At first you think, is this it, this tiny painting? This is what all the fuss is about? But then her gaze catches yours and time slows. You understand why people wept when she was stolen, why they line up for hours every day to see her. Because in that fleeting moment you feel as if someone across centuries has pierced through your defenses and said, I know you, not the curated you, not the Instagram you, the real you. And maybe that's why the crowd is unbearable, because everyone in that room is craving the same thing. To be seen, to be known, to be remembered. The Mona Lisa's story is not just art history, it is human history. It is the story of obsession, of theft, of longing, of fame born from absence. It is the story of every mask we wear, every secret smile we hide. Leonardo once said that art is never finished, only abandoned. Maybe that's why he never gave her up. Because deep down he knew what you know. That no matter how much you refine yourself, no matter how many layers you glaze over your imperfections, you will never be finished. You will always be a work in progress, and perhaps that's the real reason we can't look away from her. Because the Mona Lisa isn't perfect. She's unresolved, unfinished, just like us. So next time you see her image, remember this: the world's most famous painting is not about her beauty or her smile or even her theft. It is about the unbearable truth that we are all fragile, fleeting and desperately longing to be understood. The Mona Lisa is a mirror, and when you look into her eyes, the question isn't, who is she? The question is, who are you?